He looked at the dead body in front of him, the red going onto his face and body. He had more to do now. He walked away from the dead body and went to the captain's cabin. Once there, he knew what he wanted to do. He opened the map of the ship, locking every door to the crew that had come so short while ago. Once he was about to shut off the oxygen, you opened the door. Bakugou, you spat out of breath. Stop. If they all die, then remember, I'll die. They'll shut off the ship where you would never be able to see me again. You walked up to him. When running here, you had seen the body of Kirishima on the way here. They'll delete everything of me in your system. You wouldn't want that, right? You asked. What if I told you I cut off the connection between me and the mothership? He tilted his head. Then how will I get food or water? You asked, still walking to him. It looked like you had gotten him just for a bit. You had unlocked the doors, somewhat pinning him to the table because of this. He had been looking at you, seeing what motion you did. That's when you pressed a button, and he was gone. You fell to the floor. You had shut off the AI of the ship, meaning that you would have to stay up until you were home. You held your heart as your breathing became faster and faster. What were you going to do? What are you going to tell them? What happens when they shut down the ship? Will they think that you're crazy? Oh, you got up. Your breathing became more normal as you tried to focus. You went to your seat and input the commands to head more quickly to home, then typing to the mothership about what was going on and what they needed to fix. So, you were so tired, and you had not been typing right, but you had to do this so they knew as soon as possible. After that, you got up and went to look at the body. Once there, you picked up his hand just to check if there was a pulse, and your eyes widened. If you were quick, he could live. You ran to the medical wing and came back, wrapping his wound. You were so scared that this man was dead. You should have done this sooner, but if not, the crew would have died, and then you. You picked up the man and went back to the medical wing, placing him down on the bed. After some time, you took off the bandage and grabbed a needle and thread to sew him back up. Gladly, his organs didn't get damaged at all, nor his blood vessels. You were now happy that you took the medical training thing before doing this. You then left the room, hoping he will be fine, but you needed to run the ship. When morning hit, you heard the door open. Hey, have you seen Kirishima? He asked. He's not in his room, and when I called for the AI, they didn't respond. I shut off the AI. You spoke, sipping coffee. Huh? The man spat. What do you mean? Have you been up all night? He spat as he almost slammed his hands on the table. Before you slam your hands, let me explain. The AI had gone rogue. They thought that Kirishima was a threat. I treated him before he could die. He should be in the medical wing. You looked at the man. He was planning on killing the whole ship. The AI, I mean. You then stared at each other for a bit, and then you went back to looking out ahead. For the whole rest of the trip, it had been maybe 3 hours of getting sleep each night. The man, Kirishima, had gotten better, thankfully, though he would still need to get medical help when back. He had helped you a bit when you were asleep. He had taken care of the ship for you. When the ship landed, you were ready to be done with this ship, but the captain had to speak with you about the letter you sent them, saying that we will fix this before the ship is sent off again. So, you were off to your lover. When you opened the door, Denki was surprised to see you home sooner than told, but he was happy to see you nonetheless, hugging and kissing you all over. Spending time with him again was so nice and peaceful, going on until the wedding, the honeymoon, and then afterwards. That was when until you were told to go back. You had to climb even if it was for a good pay. You had been in space for way too long, and you wanted to never go back. So, when you got something in the mail, you had screamed, "What's wrong, Yin?" asked Stinky as he turned the corner. He looked to where your head was tilted. To him, it looked like a normal-looking box, but to you, it wasn't. Inside the box, it was Bakugou's AI. Everything that he was made out of was there. His coding, his updates, his actions, and everything else. Dinky went to pick it up before you stopped him. "Babe," you caught his arm before he touched it. "What?" he asked. "Don't touch it. It might turn on." You spoke. "What's the problem?" he asked. "The problem is that AI almost killed the entire ship by taking the air out of the ship." You spat at him. Okay, but what is it doing here?" he asked, both of you looking at it. "Well, how do you put it? You both left it there. It was in a box still, so it just picked it up and walked it to the trash to be put out. You both couldn't keep your eyes off the box, even when you were on call to see why the thing came here." He said it had been a reboot and new different programming. You spoke as you sat down next to Danky on the couch, which still had a good view of the box. "I'm kind of scared, but is it bad that I want to see if they're telling the truth?" He gulped. "Yeah, but it's dumb." You sighed, placing your head on his shoulder. That was when you quickly saw his hand move up to his nose before you tried. He was the first one to say it. "Not it!" "Damn it!" You spat. You then stayed quiet as you both looked at it. After some time, you got up and grabbed the box, then taking the device in your hand, then turning it on. And there he was, in the normal outfit you saw him first in. "What's your name?" he asked the same way he did. "Yin Kaminari," you spoke. Then looked around. What am I here to help you with?" he asked in a gruff voice. Nothing yet," you spoke. That was until Danky came to your side. "Why not just get comfy?" He smiled to the AI. Bakugou only nodded as he walked over to the couch. You weren't buying any of it at all. It just seemed too normal from him. "Why are you here?" you asked as you sat next to Danky. "Well, I am here because I am the only one with your health record." Then, out of nowhere, showed a chart on your health, before the ship, during, and after. They show many hours of no sleep, no eating, and health decline. You looked at it. It made no sense. You had been taking care of yourself and doing these simple tasks just fine. You felt Dinky grab your shoulder a little harder. Then the chart disappeared. "I'm here to make sure your health goes back up," he spoke, getting up. What are you doing?" Dinky asked as he walked to the kitchen. "Making supper," Bakugou spoke simply. "Dinky, can we talk?" You grabbed his arm. He nodded, and the two of you went to the backyard. "He is lying, and I know it," you spoke, sitting on the porch. "Yeah, I know. You have been doing all those things." He rubbed the back of his neck. "We need to get rid of him," you spoke, getting up, almost back inside when Dinky stopped you. "Why not keep him for the night?" he asked. "What?" "He is making supper," he smiled, calming you down. You sighed out and smiled at him. "Sure then." You shook your head, both you walking in. Dinky then went to the couch, but you looked at Bakugou. Then you looked to Dinky. He was smiling at you, turning on the TV and patting a spot next to him. You sat next to him and cuddled into him. "Supper is done," Bakugou said as he walked to the two of you. You both got up, thanked him as you dished yourselves plates. Though throughout the whole meal, he had only asked you questions about the meal. After some time, he was about to take the plates, but you took them. "I'm sorry, but at least let me do something." You tried to be nice. "How about you go sit and watch TV with my husband?" you asked as you left and went to the kitchen. He nodded as Dinky kissed your cheek, giving you a smile. He nodded and walked to the living room. After you came back, you could hear that they were having a good conversation with each other. Danky, I'm getting ready for bed. You spoke as you walked past. I'll be there in a bit, babe. He spoke. You took a shower, wrapped yourself in a towel, brushed your hair and teeth, then left the bathroom going to change, still hearing them talking. You changed into some PJs and then went back out. Babe, if you want, you can shower now. You spoke, then went to your bedroom. Danky got up and excused himself. You laid in bed, reading a book. After some time, Bakugou walked in. Need anything? You asked. No, just making sure you're all right. He placed his box onto your bedside table. If you need me, then you know where to go. He then vanished. Danky walked in, drying his hair. Was Bakugou in here? He asked. Yes, he's in his box. You spoke, turning the page. He got dressed and laid down next to you. He kissed your cheek. You then placed your book down, turning off the lamp and cuddling into his chest. Good night, love. He kissed you, you kissing back. Then pulling apart, falling asleep into each other's arms. In the middle of the night, though, something happened. A man came alive. Looking at you, even if it was dark, he could see you clearly. He walked to the kitchen, grabbed something, something sharp. He then slowly walked back to the bedroom again, going to the opposite side of yours, looking at the knife, then the man, raising it above his head, ready to kill this man.